Okay, turn it off. So this 330 engine is on a stand now. I've got some gaskets here. I got most of them. I believe this valve cover gasket is wrong. This looks like from an older 3 Series, like up to 2005. So because this one looks like it's aluminum or metal, and it doesn't look the same. So, but I do have the oil cooler gasket, the exhaust manifold gasket. I have the oil pan gasket, which is the most important one, because once I put this engine in, it's going to be impossible to change the oil pan gasket in the car because of the subframe. I'd have to drop the subframe. So that's the one I'm going to focus on right now. I'm going to do this one and the oil cooler gasket, or oil filter housing, or slash cooler, whatever it's called. So also have some spark plugs, but I'm going to leave those for later as well, because I'm most likely going to pull the spark plugs out anyways to turn the engine to get the flywheel bolts off. So right now I'm going to remove the oil pan, inspect it, and go from there. So I just pressure washed the pan just to make it look pretty. Alright, so I finally got the engine to the house, and now I'm prepping the car for the engine swap that's going to be happening tomorrow. Jacob, this is his first car. He's 13 years old, and he's not home today, but I'm just getting ready. I want to make sure that everything is good to go before we start actually tearing the thing apart. I took the shields off from underneath, and there was a major oil leak at some point, or still is there. And there's some shredded belt pieces there, so at some point the belt shredded. That's why someone has a brand new belt on here. And we washed the whole car and under the hood in the last video on this car, but if you look underneath, everything is covered in oil, and I just don't like working when everything is dirty and covered in oil. So what I'm gonna do now is probably pressure wash it. Well, I'm gonna drain the coolant first probably, and the AC, and then I'm gonna pressure wash everything underneath. I'm not sure if we're gonna be pulling the engine and the transmission out as one assembly, or we're gonna just disconnect it and leave the transmission on the car. Whichever way is easier. We decided to do this at home and not use a lift at the shop. It's just much easier. That way, if we don't finish or we get stuck on some, something, we could just leave it and not have to take up space at the shop and slow production down. So tomorrow I'm gonna be Jacob's helper, and Jacob's gonna be removing the front end on this car, starting with the headlights, bumper, support, everything. Probably gonna leave the hood on, but the wiper cowl probably is gonna have to be removed just to get more room, more access to the back of the engine and stuff like that. I'm not sure on this body style, but I think that the ECU is somewhere over there. It's hidden, so we have to get to that, disconnect it. And we are reusing the original wiring harness because the junkyard that sold us the new engine, new used engine, they cut all the wiring. So I'm gonna have to reuse the wiring harness, and possibly relume some of it, because the loom over time gets like dry and crusty and just keeps falling apart. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do. And this being an all-wheel drive, it's a 330xi, there's a lot more work than on just a rear wheel drive car. You got to pull the axles and stuff like that. So I don't know, I was just looking earlier, and I think I'm gonna just pull the whole hub assembly out with the axle. That way I don't have to loosen the actual axle from the hub. I think it's gonna be easier if I just pull the whole thing down and out. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. We're in no rush. We got, you know, he's only 13, so really we got like 2 years to swap this thing, or two or 3 years to swap this thing out. But we'd like to get it done. Maybe he wants to sell it and buy something else by then. Who knows? You know, this is a nice car. It's not wrecked. It's a clean title, but it's a bad engine. And at some point in this video, I think we might even reveal the price on what it costs to get one of these and actually get it to run again. So let's get to work.
Swapping this BMW. Replacing.
Not swapping, because we're putting the same engine in.
Okay, yeah. Replacing the engine in this BMW 330xi.
Right.
Yep.
And this is your car.
Yep.
Yeah, you're 13 years old. This is your first car.
Yep.
Your first engine replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what are you gonna do first? Yesterday I jacked up the car, took the wheels off, took the shields off, and washed it underneath. Washed all the shields off. So what are you gonna do next?
Take out this one.
Well, what's your first step?
Take apart the front.
Exactly, yep. So you're gonna remove the headlights, the bumper, and then the support, radiators, everything. I drained the radiator already and the AC, so you should be good. I have some bags over here for you. And a Sharpie. So every bolt you remove, like if you remove headlight bolts or whatever, you're gonna bag them.
Yep.
And bag and tag.
Yep.
Bag and tag it. So yeah, you can start doing that. I'm gonna put the battery on charge real quick and...
Alright, wish me luck.
Yep, good luck. Look, you can use all these power tools. So you can use those. Put on the power tool, extensions, yeah, everything here. gonna do hand tools. We're gonna be here for a week. So we got rained out last night. It started pouring rain even though the weather didn't show any rain. But we got quite a bit done. We got the front radiator support and reinforcement bar removed. We've got all the radiators and everything out of the way, so we're good here. All we have to do is just take apart up here a little bit, get to the ECM and get underneath. I still have to pull the axles out and stuff like that, but Jacob's doing an awesome job taking stuff apart. He's bagging everything, labeling it. So yeah, we got quite a bit of work. done, but yesterday I was hoping we would get the engine out, but the rain kind of slowed us down, but it's all good. We're moving along. It'll get done. Hopefully we'll get it done today, because after lunch it's showing rain again, but I'm thinking just to set up the tent just in case it does rain, we can still do some work. The goal is to complete it today, or at least get the engine out, swap everything over from the old engine to the new engine, and then put everything back in just like this. Don't assemble it all the way, just like this, and start it, make sure it runs, and then if it runs we can assemble it from there today or tomorrow and test drive it. So let's get to work. Jacob, watch this. Let's see if it goes down. Probably will. So look how many straps we used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got the engine out. This is a huge engine, and transmission and transfer case, because it's all-wheel drive. So I'm gonna wash it again. I'm not gonna spray water up top because the computer's up there, but I'm gonna wash all this oil off for the 3rd time. There's oil everywhere. So we'll wash it and then start taking it apart. And then transferring everything over to the used engine. So let's get to it.